Hey, good people. Let's get back into this conversation about lessons that I learned from loving the wrong man. I learned some great lessons from loving the wrong man. And remember, like we talked about in the beginning of the video, this is not about the wrong man. This is not about bashing men. I don't do that. That's ungodly. Bashing men and holding men accountable for their behavior is two different things, right? But in this situation, there is so much that we can learn from ourselves and from our behaviors that will empower us and create better scenarios for us. So I put together a list of a few things that I learned, my takeaways from loving the wrong man. The first thing I learned, I'm gonna go back over the first two things before I get into my lesson today that I want to share with you. You should never enter into a relationship when you're needy or from a place of desperation or going into a relationship seeking validation. You should never do that. You never get into a relationship because you're looking to be made whole, looking to be made right, not knowing who you are. That's the wrong reason for getting into a relationship. Second thing we talked about, you should never, never, never allow the idea that you've been deceived. Guess what? People don't deceive us. We deceive ourselves. People do not deceive us. We deceive ourselves. Let me tell you how we deceive ourselves. There was never a time that I was in a relationship or in any kind of relationship where my knower didn't go off to say that something was off, right? And in those long-term relationships where I was entertaining or in something that I should not have been into, it was my knower that was going off, in addition to the behaviors that I saw that was affirming what I believed to be true all along. So those people didn't deceive me. I deceived myself in believing something that was not true, in believing something. This person didn't demonstrate themselves to be trustworthy. Just because I trusted you and you showed me that you weren't trustworthy, it doesn't mean that I was deceived. It means that I took a risk, I took a gamble, and it did not work out in the way that I thought it would. So today's lesson, today's conversation, loving the wrong man taught me to be humble. It taught me humility. It taught me not to judge. Now, listen, this whole conversation about judgment and being judged and feeling judged, let me tell you a secret. When you're doing something wrong, that's sin judging you. That's not people judging you. And guess what? Here's another thing. Somebody has a right to say something is stupid and it not be judgment. They have a right to, say, yeah, that's stupid, without you feeling like you are stupid. We have to get past this place of, everything is a judgment. Everything is a character assassination. Everything is so hyper, focused on making everybody comfortable. I don't know what world we're going to live in where everybody's going to be comfortable and everything's going to be rainbows and lily pads. We won't, that won't be accomplished during this time. So loving the wrong person taught me to be humble. It taught me humility. It taught me not to judge. It taught me to redirect times when I was being jealous. Because guess what? I didn't know that I would sit outside somebody's house while they was on a date until I sat outside his house while he was on a date. Okay? I didn't know that I could be so easily persuaded or, not listen to myself and trust what was untrustworthy. I didn't know that I was susceptible to that. I didn't know that about myself. I did not know that I would let your side chick call me and tell me all about me. And then her and I get in the car and go to her house and wait on you to get home for me to put you at her house. I didn't know that. I didn't know I would do those things. I didn't know that I would do, trust, and believe half of the things that I did for the sake of love and being loved. So that meant inside of me, it created space for other people and space for me to have grace with myself. When you have grace with yourself, when somebody has given you grace, you can then administer or show that same grace towards somebody. When my daughters come and they talk to me about relationship, I know because I'm their mom, they probably feel judged by me, but that's not necessarily because I'm judging them. And a lot of the time when we're having conversation, I redirect what they are communicating to me to ask them what action they're going to take about what they're sharing with me or anybody that I come in contact with. Because guess what? I didn't know I would do half the stuff I did until I did them. And it showed me who I was. So loving the wrong person humbled me. And you know us. We be, girl, couldn't be me. Not me. Whole time. Well, okay, he didn't knock you upside your head, but he tripped you down the stairs. Okay, it's still violence. So we not gonna, make one higher than the other. Okay. Yeah. No, girl. He cheated on you 2 times. And he cheated on her 4 times. Which one is better? Please don't say the 4, because both y'all got cheated on. We all got cheated on. What are we talking about here? So, in us looking at our experiences and allowing them to teach us and to train us about us, it should be space, or it should create space for us to be humble and stop saying, oh, not me, oh, never. It shouldn't be that, because then that's going to open the door for other people, other women to be able to come to you. Let me tell you another thing that I learned along the way in being in relationship, and even being a sister friend, somebody that people come to about advice, having people that I love dearly. I'm not going to get madder at him than you are. I'm not gonna be madder at him than you are. He cheated, and it's the 50th time he cheated. I mean, while I may have had enough at 50, maybe 51 is your number, right? I'm not going to get mad at you at 50 than you are at 51, because guess what? That's not my business. And here's another thing that I learned. Nobody loves you and nobody loves that person more than God does. And if God gives us autonomy and free will, who am I to try to stop you or tell you when enough is enough? You have to decide when enough is enough. I have to decide when enough is enough. Because guess what? Every time I decided enough was enough, there was no devil in hell that can change my mind about the decisions that I was going to make, about the actions I was going to take. I was moving on. I was done. And guess what? Can see you in a room today. Hey, how you doing? Good. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, then you have a good one. And listen, not know you tomorrow. Meaning there's no smoke with you and I. There's no smoke, because my mind is made up. I'm moving on. I learned what I needed to learn from the situation, and it's on to the next thing. That's just what it is. So I'm not going to get madder at them than the person is. Because guess what? After you done got mad at them at 51, they back in love, and she waiting on, at 50, she waiting on 51. Now here you are over here angry, and they over there in love, and I still cause issues between you and her because you mad at her for taking this. Well, guess what? Nobody loves that person. Nobody loved you more than God loved you. Yet and still, God still allows us to make decisions. God gives us free will to make decisions and choose what we're going to do. So nobody is perfect. So loving the wrong person, if you look back in your file, if you look back, along your experience, it should have humbled you and taught you more about yourself, which makes us better women, better sisters, better mothers, better friends to our sisters, to other women. And enough with this male bashing stuff and this male bashing stuff that's like kind of like cloaked in feminism, where we don't need men and they all dogs. No, that ain't true. It's Jerome, Rob, Jimmy, Bobby, Michael, and Ricky was dogs. That's not the totality of men as a whole. Maybe it's how I'm picking men. That's why we can't pour that into our daughters. That's why we can't pour that into other generations. We have to do some self-reflection, because guess what? If our community is to ever be strong again, it's going to be strong by building families. That's how it's going to be strong. Building up strong women, building up strong men, and those of us that want to be together, those of us that want to create families or be in relationships, coming together and doing the work as a couple. Listen, being single is amazing. I don't have a problem being single. It's super dope. I'm a married woman now, but having been a single child and seeing my mother be single for so long, it definitely prepared me for a life where, I know how to be by myself, and that served me well in life. Now, it's teaching me something in relationship, because I know how to go in myself, and I know how to what's the word I want to say? I know how to entertain myself, but that you can't be like that in the marriage. And even as a mother, that was something that showed up in how I parented my children, because I'm kind of like a introverted extrovert. While I love people, I love being by myself. So loving the wrong person taught me not, I know Judge Judy was a great show, but I'm gonna let Judge Judy have it, because loving the wrong person humbled me. Loving the wrong people humbled me and taught me a lot about myself that I didn't know, which ultimately created space for me to try to share with, women that I encounter, women, my daughters, people that I love, right? To use those experiences to build them up, not tear them down, not be judgy, because listen, once a person feels bad about themselves, once a person is not confident in what they're doing, guess what? Even you sharing the truth in love is going to feel like judgment, because guess what? Actions judge people. It's not necessarily about, you judging the person. If I do something, if I tell a lie, right, and I know I told a lie about something, I'm going to automatically be looking around to see, if somebody sees me in my lie, or if, something is coming apart with my lie. That's my actions judging me. It's not necessarily a person standing there judging me. My actions, what I'm doing, is judging me. So allow your experience in love to help you to build up the next generation, to create strong, whole people, because that's what we need to be. We need to be strong, whole individuals. Follow me on all of my social media pages. I'm excited to get back into the series and share other things that I have learned while loving the wrong people, which has been one of the most incredible things, because they've prepared me for life. They prepared me for love. They prepared me to give back, because everything we do should be about building up and not tearing down. Okay. I just wanted to share that with y'all. See you next time. Love you. Bye.